Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Melos Machina. We are back again to continue our adventures in the lockdown city of Venture. Just started on a low note. We hope that you have had a fantastic week, and we are so excited to be here with you this evening. Before we dive into tonight's episode, a couple of quick announcements. You may notice we are once again without our wonderful friend Z this evening, but don't worry, Z's on their way. Should be joining us shortly. And also, a quick reminder that this is the last episode of the month, as we always take the last week of the month off. So after tonight's episode, we'll see you next month. Yeah. I'm doing great. I should have had more coffee.
Here.
Okay. Wait, what's
That was mine.
However, last announcement, a continuing word from our sponsor of Melos Machina, Cantrip Candles.
Thank you to the amazing Cantrip Candles for being the continuing sponsor of Melos Machina here and just loving what we do here on the channel. So thank you for your support. New from Cantrip Candles, coming this Friday is Botany. 3 new fragrances.
Oh no!
Flowering wisteria, fiddlehead fern, and bergamot citron.
Holy crap.
These are handcrafted with love. Here, I'll pass them around.
Yes, please.
They're for the tavern. So these are all nature-inspired candles. They are very accurate, very delicious. They smell great together or by themselves.
That's nice.
So please, they will be available this Friday. It's when they launch. And as you're getting that, you can also get the new Blackhound Tavern tote bag. So if you like those kind of old school totes from like bookstores and stuff, it kind of looks like that. So check it out this Friday. You can use our link, our affiliate link, so we get a little bit of a kickback. And then you can also use our code APAC for 10% off of your order. And it also shows them that we sent them. There's a lot of Easter eggs on the boxes, by the way. So the whole product is so cute. Little wax seals on each
Incredible.
one.
I was
loving
saying,
the seal.
The
Yeah.
seal is really cute.
If you get Fiddlehead Fern, you can get it during the summer only and give it to your friends and make your soda, and then they'll like you better. These are not the jokes.
Yes, but no, that's true. Also, good point. These are very limited. So there will only be a couple of batches of these this year, and then they'll be out of season. So.
This is the one. I mean, they're all really good. But
Oh, is
this
that the bergamot?
citron,
Thank you for the sneak peek banner, sneak sniff.
Sneak sniff?
I guess.
Sneak
sniff.
Peek with your nose.
Yo, always. do.
I have never, ever related to something.
This is definitely going in the next time on Melos Machina because
Yeah. I know.
These are
We
fantastic.
didn't have these for the dinner party at Lord Janeb's house.
Oh, these would have been
Would've
amazing.
been
Also,
perfect.
fantastic candles for Corcoran's hut. I was just realizing these do go perfect with my herbologist primer
Yes!
over here.
Yes!
That's
Yeah.
what I thought of too. Yeah.
My
Nice.
gosh.
Oh yeah, the herbologist primer is just
Yeah.
on the side.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Incredible scents. And yeah, can confirm. They smell amazing. Perfect. It is now a hat.
No.
Ketchup candles also not making hats.
Oh man.
Our first prototype, one for Lord Janeb.
Yeah. Sponsor the Adventurers pack.
Get hat. We're doing great.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All
Back to
right.
you, Scott.
All right, I'm just gonna put these under here so they don't get into any trouble.
This summer's hottest fashion.
Kendall.
Just
Kendall.
Don't light it while it's on your head. Probably.
On that
Still
wonderful
getting
scent note, players, are you all ready to continue into tonight's episode of Melos Machina?
Been ready since last week.
When last we met our adventurers, the party had made their way to the collection, the storefront owned by Lark Calder in the hopes of speaking with him to see if this was indeed the person who was responsible for sending the Cracker Jack downriver. However, before you were able to enter the store, Andy was summoned away by a ever-exhausted Zachary,
Baby.
who was dealing with a still unconscious Bogdan and a never-ending line of work. Andy and Chauncey went back down to the River District to help, leaving the four of you to fend at the collection. Finn and Aaron, entering in to start this conversation, quickly identified Mr. Calder as indeed the voice that you had heard emanating from the box in which you had found the Cracker Jack. And after a long dance of charisma between the three of you, left and made your way to Aaron's new safe house to discuss a massive web of plots and theories presented to you by Finn, as well as each of your individual safeties, while Aaron, admitted to being the eyes and ears of the Order outside of the walls, was quite confident that he was the one who called the deacons to the city. In an effort to find guidance or help, Finn crafted a message to his mentor. And Finn, as you take your breath, with Pal staring at the rest of the party,
I'm sure you've heard of the attack on Venture. Harboring dangerous information, yet deadlier wares. We must return with haste. Uncertain of safety under citywide curfew. That's it.
there is a pause. And then a voice comes to your head. Troubling indeed. If you must leave, and bear no fault, I'm sure the Order will allow. If not, be creative. Smart, safe, but creative.
Not sure how helpful that was.
What did he say?
What did he say?
Oh, that if a polite request to the Order doesn't get us out of here, we can improvise safely, creatively. No idea what that means.
Okay. So, even though you two and Andy work for the Order, you still think that they're not going to let you leave?
Again, it's not direct employment by the Order. It's I worry that if we were to express why we need to get out of here so urgently, they might want to hold on to us.
We don't have the clearance that some of the council members or persons at Janeb's party had to move about the city or even between populations.
I also
Though-
have a feeling they're going to want to talk to us.
Possible.
I mean, Andy and I don't work for the Order, but someone does.
work for the Order directly, though my allegiance to them is long running. So,
Is it, if you were to go to this deacon and fill him in, would you would you lose your jurisdiction? Would they just take it from you?
I think if I were to come face to face with the deacon, they would see me as an everyday citizen. The only information I would be offering would be the same as Duarthi or Riken.
I see. So not a direct relation there.
No.
I see.
Though I do think they can be utilized, their presence here can be utilized to our advantage.
How so?
Well, regardless of Lark Calder's direct position, we know he's tied to the Crackerjack directly.
Right.
Yes.
We don't know how much or how little he participated or how much he was aware of, but he is involved. And as I mentioned before you sent the message, I think I have a line of enticing him or encouraging him to aid the deacons in putting an end to that line of trafficking. It would be a risk. If it goes south, we could very well have an enemy just as powerful as Dr. Sada in front of us. But I'm inclined to do it because I do not want to see another person responsible for causing harm to individuals of this continent get away.
I know.
Now, harm would come to him. That much I think I can guarantee. Not on my end, not on our ends.
So, the Crackerjack. It's contraband. How in trouble would someone like us be if we had it? If we were caught with it?
That's a DM. What do I roll to I have some inklings, but not a hard answer to that necessarily.
I
Unless
think
you
I
do.
might have an inkling as well as to...
I'll let you take the answer if you, and I'm correct if needed.
I don't know much about this substance, even in its authorized usage. Though, if my understanding of the Order's protectivity of certain technologies, it would mean severe punishment.
I'd imagine it would be confiscated. We would be held for interrogation, and depending on how that goes,
But aren't you taking it back to Sarah's Manor? And if they asked you, why do you have this thing? You could say, I'm taking it back to Sarah's Manor. That's what you're doing, right?
Andy and I have certain license to be.
Yeah.
But you asked about yourself.
Yeah, I was wondering
Oh,
what the everyday person...
then don't put it in my hand.
I also imagine the everyday person doesn't get their hands on something like this very often.
Right, but Lark isn't a lord. He's not a political figure. He's just got money, so...
He's certainly no average person.
So
he wouldn't
he would
fall
get in trouble.
under a conservator type situation.
He did say he has friends in the Order that he can call instantly, and if he's turning people in, maybe that gives him certain
I think he's
immunities.
bluffing on that regard.
It's very possible.
He's our man.
Let me know.
So, what are we supposed to do with him? Turn him in?
I don't think we want to necessarily tip our hand just yet.
When we have no
More
real proof.
right. We have this, and I gesture to the web of information scrawled on now every single surface of the walls of
it's-
this room.
It's sort of us saying that, yeah, it's his voice we heard in the box. We don't have the box. We don't have
We probably couldn't get that message to trigger again even if we went to where we buried the box. So that's our only
And-
evidence.
We have this, and I'll touch my head to my forehead, and I'll pull out a silvery strand.
You're doing that.
I heard his voice in that box. This is the proof that we have.
What is that?
It's the memory of us finding the box in the in the chest of ale.
All right.
I am proof enough. I was there. I heard it. I heard his voice. I walked into his shop and heard his voice directly. Everything that we've encountered so far leading up to discovering that box, the involvement with the overseer, it's all in my head. And I can provide God's honest truth to it. All we need to do is figure out how to have someone read it. I haven't figured that part out yet. But it's here.
It's a memory.
It's a memory, precisely.
All right. Presuming a memory is admissible as evidence, there are magical means of modifying memories. It's not foolproof, but it's something. It's something.
Once again, I think I want to take the approach not necessarily at apprehending him and handing him over to the deacons as a culprit. But there are ways, magical ways of suggesting a course of action to someone.
You mentioned that.
And if he's guilty, it would be an admission on his part.
We told him we'd return if we decided to buy some of the other items in the shop. Under the guise of coming back for that purchase, we could try more. Although, it might be good to pursue some of these other threads here in venture before pushing too hard.
You know, I mean, obviously, I don't want to, pry or anything. But Aaron, I know we've asked about it a few times. That you were in the Rivers, mate, and you saw something, that was suspicious that made you call them. Is there anything that you saw that you think you could use that would tie to like Calder? I still don't really know what you saw or what you were watching. And
Locke seems to have a relationship with Silas.
right,
Silas
Who blew up?
who blew up?
blew up.
But what was Silas doing that was suspicious? I assume it was Silas who was doing something suspicious. I'm just trying to be helpful.
There are delicate ways of tuning your ears to certain illicit activities, even in small towns such as Riversmeet. Silas had a big mouth and didn't know when to whisper and when to shout.
Probably why he's dead now.
Based on first impression, Locke is a bit more coy than that.
He certainly knows that one wrong word could unravel his entire workings.
And if anything, we're the ones who overshared there. If only in the things we didn't say.
He knows. Then again, he's always known that the work that he does or the things that he deals in could lead him to confrontation.
Yes, but he plays so much in the background. He doesn't go to the parties. He doesn't actively join anything. Doesn't have to be face to face with anybody. There's, I think, a little bit of an anonymity to L.
Well, even if he's not the mastermind behind it all, perhaps instead of terminating the operation, we convince him to cue us in. it's possible that somebody less official as yourself
Right.
could have gotten wind of his operation and want to participate.
True.
But our cover's blown.
Hmm.
It's not just me.
According to him, I'm keeping my enemies close.
I mean, that being said, I agree with you, Finn. I think we need to check in on Lady Elaine. I don't think it's the end of her involvement
Absolutely
in all
not.
of this. I mean, we're gonna be here for a little bit. Let's make the best of what we can find out.
I think I'd very much like to talk to Elaine again, and with a little more direction of the questions we're asking, perhaps we can fish something out of her.
Yeah.
Just a matter of finding the angle of pressure.
Right. Right.
I mean, we know that she holds family close. So there's always a way in that way.
If I don't want to be crass, but could we buy her allegiance away from Janab?
She seems to be the one buying our allegiance, based on the amount of platinum I'm still holding from her.
Yeah. I think she's a smart businesswoman.
But it seems to be information might be her trade more than
Yeah.
coin, and that is the only resource we have in spades. Again, gesturing at the walls. So if we play our hand with her, I do trust. We've at least earned her trust, and she seems to be a good person.
You mean if you tell her everything you know, you think she might tell you everything she knows?
If
sort
we
of?
tell her more of what we know,
She'll trade.
She might be interested in the contraband ring of Korshan. That might be of something of interest to her, or the people she knows.
or the events of Riversmeet, which she
Mhm.
could then trade here to the Clavertons or to
We
the
could
Order itself. But
try and find her. She said she was going out and about today.
I think, yeah, that's of a high interest to me.
I know we need to. What time is it?
I was about to ask.
Mid-afternoon.
It's like mid-afternoon,
Alright.
and now in
Hello.
Easy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Look who it is. You're good. You're good. Take your time. Get settled. You're just doing lots of work over at Bogdan's.
I work hard for my money.
For zero money.
For the love of the game.
Yeah. For the love of Zachary.
Oh, poor kid.
Bless our boy.
I think with the curfew, it'll be hard to arrange something today. But I could send a message to her. We could set something up for the morning tomorrow or whenever she's available.
We could. We have information hopefully from Cindy tonight.
True.
We can wrap things up at the Tired Tinker
Yeah.
And then we're going to stay here?
for the time being.
Okay.
I think it's the safest place.
I think so too.
It's certainly not as cozy, but privacy is good.
I worry about putting the others in danger.
Seems like they could use the rooms too for the displaced.
Yeah.
Speaking of privacy, Thin, I think I owe you an apology about my behavior when we first arrived here
What do you mean?
regarding the courtyard and your presence. I'm concerned about Pao. If
I
the
am too.
persons, if the individuals that I report to are of the concern that I believe they will have over matters unregulated, the closer that they are to seeing me, they are to seeing Pal. And that book is a liability now.
Only when Pal's out and about, right, bud? And I gesture to the face.
As you look over to him, his face turns and tilts slightly and says, "Am I a liability, Finn?"
Oh, no, Pal. No, you're not a liability. You're beautiful. We just gotta be careful about who we show all of your tricks to, and it'll be great. It'll be fine.
Finn, how did you leave the city with this in your possession?
Look at this, and I gestured not to Pal's manifested form, but to the book itself. This book. This is official lawkeeper requisitioned. I am allowed to carry this book.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is this book is doing things they did not tell me it could, and my first attempts to ask questions about the book writing back to me in my own words, well, that was perceived as a very concerning feature, not something it was supposed to do. But as far as anybody needs to be aware, this is just the autonomous library assigned to me by the lawkeepers to do my job.
I remember you calling me a surprise.
That's right, pal. I'm very full of surprises, you are.
He won't surprise us when he's just in the book. In the book? On the book? Is the book?
Yes.
Like, you have to summon him.
Considering this is, I think maybe the third time I've done it so far, yes.
Okay, so just don't summon him in front of anybody else,
Right.
really.
Yes, because in the eyes of the Order, that is also contraband, Finn.
Now it is, yeah. That is why I'm worried. For a flash of a moment while we didn't lock Calder's collection, I thought about showing him the book. But I'm glad I didn't. And pal, I'd love for you to meet everybody we meet, but I just don't think they all quite see you for what you are.
That is understandable.
But you can hear at least, right? While we go about our day to day, and it's like you're there with me.
I hear better like this, but I am happy to stay secret.
Perfect. For now, anyway. Just while we're out and about. I agree, though, and we gotta be very careful. And if anybody asks, this is just a normal book, and it does have some autonomous features. It is simply to recall the information I need and to collate, but not to form opinions or whatever this is.
This is so strange.
Yeah. Still somehow less weird than those creatures and everything else on this web.
When you put it that way, yeah.
I do have a theory where Pal might have taken more shape. Something I wasn't supposed to do.
Oh, Finn.
Well, my whole life I've kept journals, and well, the amount of time and the amount of paper that I went through by the time I was a teen, my father did not find it a constructive use of time, and I had to get creative using shorthand, and well, I did start feeding some of my journals to Pal after I was assigned my tool, and shortly before we left, and I worry that the non-lawkeeper related information in there my whole life, essentially. I don't know if any of that rubbed off. also don't know if Pal retains that information once the pages leave, but it could be something else entirely.
Uh-huh.
What do you say, Pal? Any of that ringing a bell?
It was like getting to know a person instead of just things. And I remember.
I'm very happy to hear that. And it's great to finally get to know you a little more like a person as well than a thing.
It is very weird hearing
Mhm.
half of a conversation.
Thank you, Duathi.
I'm
Thank
sort
you.
Of, I'm sort of assuming
Oh,
what the book is saying, but I am realizing that this is weirder than I thought it was going to be when you had started to describe it. It is only getting weirder.
Thank you for flagging that for me, because I didn't even. Yep. No, Pal is very excited to get to know me and all of us, and seems to remember more than I would have guessed.
Oh, good.
That is both comforting and a little concerning still. No offense, pal. I know he can't respond to me. Well, I can't hear. This is...
I will try to do a little
I'll-
bit to translate. Right.
I am not offended by Icon.
Pal's not offended by you at all.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be
Glad I
good.
didn't.
As Finn says that, Pal looks at you as the words are being conveyed.
Pal also knows your name, which is cool.
No, this is great. This is
So cool.
so... God, I feel like Andy is right here.
So
just channeling Andy. No, this is... Honestly, it's kind of cool, but it's also... We have so many questions now. And honestly, and I take the quill that you gave me, and I do like a sidebar here, and I just write weird shit. Creatures, and both the wild wolf-like creatures and the ones that were collared, and I write down the spider and the surprider, and then I also write down Pow. I don't know if it's related to us being out and about, but there's so much we don't know.
If it makes you feel any better, Pal started writing back to me in Melos Machina before we left.
Okay.
This form is new, but it seems to just be a natural
He's still
evolution.
weird shit.
I
Sorry.
can't disagree with that. So I'm sorry, Pal.
Still not taking offense.
Pal seems to be very understanding of all of the weird shit.
I mean, we're a bunch of weird shits.
Yeah. Also, all of this web of information lives inside Pal, so
As you say, we're a bunch of weird shits. Ink forms under the list that you have made with the quill that says we.
There we go.
I certainly can't say if any of this is connected to Pal necessarily. It falls under the category of weird shit for sure, but I do feel whatever is going on here is certainly less dangerous than, and then I pat the box on my side, what we're carrying or what we've discovered elsewhere.
I know if I need to keep going and doing things, but while we've got the quill out, I have one last thing I think to add.
Please.
Pass it to you.
Oh no. Okay. I'll just walk up to the wall and write silver palm question mark. Here you go, take it back please.
I'm actually beaming, kind of like seeing the group participation in my personal project up till this point, kind of. And very, very, very good, Duathi and Abden. I just kind of send the quill out with the mage hand and start connecting Silver Palm to all the various places that we made those connections. The cidery, to Silas, to Lark, and just kind of connecting dots there.
This might sound sort of weird, but I was thinking about it. And we were talking about, the surprisers, and I was also thinking about the fact that, if we were talking about if Larkalder is shipping things, it's probably going to those people, right?
Mhm.
And so they probably have a lot of his stuff. Maybe at their warehouse.
Oh God, what if there was something on that ship besides the Cracker Jack?
What if maybe it's something that would make the
Yes.
cider folk
Wasn't
buy?
Claudine told to avoid getting on that ship, or
Well, she was just going on it for a vacation. She
Well,
hasn't-
Claudine.
She ended up having to go on it because to do work also because of the ship in River's
Because,
Meat.
yeah.
But
She missed her vacation in Gladen
Yes.
because of it. I think there was only change of plans for her, but
but still, what if whatever it is, there's something bad in there?
why don't we connect with Cindy
Mm-hmm.
and see if Cindy's friends might know of any other weird going-ons?
Okay.
And from there we can prioritize. Elaine, she has a whole like a whole section. Or luck. Or creative way to get out of here and or into the Silver Palm.
I was really hoping your teacher was going to be like, "Oh, use the door."
Yeah, me too. It was a little less constructive of instruction than I had anticipated, although it seems to be encouraging anyway. That's
I mean, we're a creative group.
the only thing that comes to mind immediately is if there's anybody of import that needs to return to Melos Machina from here, we could escort them.
we tried that last night.
But maybe somebody new will come around.
Maybe Lady Elaine needs to visit Sorrow's Manor.
She
Maybe.
very well may need to. We can make that happen.
Yeah.
My head went to magic as creative ways, but that could be in. She's got some.
Finn,
pull.
do you want that orb of direction? Is that something that we need to actually purchase?
Actually, Dorothy, there was no maps at Lord Calder's collection, but he did have an orb, and it seems to be like a sort of wayfinder, or at least keeps your bearings.
Oh.
I don't know if something like that would be useful to you without a map, but I've been tracking our journey, and I have a rough sketch of
That is
where
really
we've been.
very amazing, and I wouldn't know which direction to start walking with it.
It's kind of the problem.
Right.
But
I had a feeling.
but that's still very. Oh man, I really wish I had had one of those. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made life a lot easier. But no. Not helpful now. In the future, which is where I am now.
It would be a very large portion of our funds for something that ultimately.
I think that is a very neat thing, and I think if it was a thing that was easy to get, then that would be nice. But it's okay. I don't think it would. I don't think it would help me very much. But thank you both for asking about it.
There was an offer to trade our collapsible boat for it, and as much as I do agree that we could give this to Cindy, Cindy has a boat. There was also some other items in that shop that seemed much more immediately useful. Ways to see in the dark, which has been a problem for me. Multiple ways, actually. There's goggles, personally. That sounds good, but wouldn't help Andy. There's also orb that lights up a lot of space.
Oh.
No.
Even more portion of our funds for that one, but it's within budget. The goggles, not so much, even with the trade.
Are we starting to run out of money? Do we need to get another job?
Oh, no, I mean, if we're smart about how we spend it, we can live on what we have for a very long time.
Okay. I have. I'm digging in my pockets. 3 platinum and 6 gold and some other stuff.
Duarte, you are richer than most people ever become in their entire life.
Okay.
And
Neat.
I have the same in war.
Okay.
Aaron, you spent a lot on the components and the parchment, but
Funds are fine.
yeah.
Okay.
And if we need to find work, we'll find work. But I think we'll be fine for now.
There's a saying in the cities, don't spend it all in one place. That's the thing that would make us run out of funds.
So if we spend all the money on all the cool magical stuff, we would then need a job.
Right.
Okay.
Most jobs don't pay as well as Lady Lane.
Yeah. That was a high-paying job. Maybe we do offer our services to her.
Right.
See if she is traveling anywhere. Maybe guide her towards Saros.
And I think we do cue her in on certain information that we might have for trade.
Yeah. I mean, I've already divulged a little about
That's okay.
the cult. A little. Just the dark beacon.
But you mentioned that didn't seem to phase her.
It didn't, and she didn't offer a lot of information, but it was also a weird night. I know. But she definitely knows more than she's letting on. Well, does this stay up, or do we need to clean it off before we...
Oh, no, this all just goes right back into pal.
Nice.
Everybody done filling in the blanks and or looking?
Just one more, and I'll... Where's the mage hand? No, just kidding.
It just moves its way back over to you and hands it off.
Also write weird ale or cider, weird cider in the weird shit column. Question mark. Like, not even sure if it's relevant, but it's weird.
I really think it's relevant. I think it means there's something wrong somewhere, and considering that there's, the spiders and the dogs and the death cult and all the other things, my guess is that there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah. You made me think about that.
Silver Palm very well could be involved. Probably would be involved. Even if it's unconnected to the rest of this and just a racket being run by the Cliffside Cidery here to avoid competition. But it does point to more corruption in the city and more reason to be careful who we trust.
Yep.
So we can pick this up as soon as we get back and add the information from Cindy and then get Andy's perspective on all of it and
See what she learned about Bogdan.
I hope he's okay.
Me too. He hasn't woken up.
And Pal, I think it's about
that's bad,
time
right?
to pack you up too along with all of this, but if you see anything here while you're packed away, you know what to do.
I will let you know.
I'll goodbye, friend.
Goodbye.
And I just with a gesture, the face kind of just collapses back into the book, and I wave my arm and just kind of walk the radius of the room about 5 feet from the wall, and you just see the whole thing wiped clean, like nothing was ever there.
Here's your quill back. Cool trick.
It is pretty cool, right?
That's honestly, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. I didn't think it'd be this useful.
God. Has Andy seen this?
Oh yeah, but only the bits, and a lot has grown since then. I think that was back in Riversmeet.
Mm. That feels like forever ago.
Yeah, the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Well, let's get walking. It's pretty far.
I'll look up.
All right, Aaron, thank you for trusting us with this space.
I believe I can.
Thank you. All right, you ready to do Athi?
Sure.
All the stuff we have to pack up.
I don't really have
Yeah.
anything. Now I've got my, but that's all at the hotel. No, I don't really have anything.
I do want to make an effort to put every piece of furniture, everything back as if this place was never been occupied. So if that takes like just 5 minutes of straightening.
Hardly any time at all. You've
Yeah.
all mostly been just standing. And
Okay, cool. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that, like, in case like anybody accidentally like jostle anything.
I opened every single cupboard.
I know, I'm like the urge to just like, every time you move it,
Just mage hand it back. But yeah, and then once we're all outside, I'll use my thieves' tools once again to lock the door behind me.
Okay.
Before we leave, Duarte, I know you feel lost often. You are a lot more capable than you believe sometimes, or at least make it sound like you believe. I'm quite impressed.
Thanks.
And if we can find our bearings again, I'd very much like to help you out.
That's very kind of you. Right now, I think I would just really like to get out of Venture and go to Sarah's Mina.
You and me both.
one step at a time, Duathi. And I'll just hook arms.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Head back, I guess, to, because you said it's like a 45-minute.
It's a long walk.
Yeah.
Longish walk.
From where you are to the Tired Tinker is probably about 30 minutes. Or yeah, 45 minutes was about
Yeah.
how long it took for you on that first trip. But it is a path that you now know well, and the rest of you are starting to become familiar with. As you approach the Tired Tinker, it is still late afternoon, not even hitting early evening at this point. However, as you approach, you do see Andy and Chauncey making their way, coming from opposite directions, but now equal and opposite from the door. You've reconnected.
Oh, hi everyone.
It's good to see you. Is
Still
Buckman
have both
okay?
your arms.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't steal a third one.
No. 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 I wouldn't. I want to, but I wouldn't. Yeah. I think he's just really exhausted. So, yeah, he didn't. Waking up is a strong term, but he responded. So he's okay. He's just very, very tired.
Okay.
Happens
So,
sometimes.
yeah, I just helped Zachary with some stuff, kind of get him on track, at least.
Is it still as chaotic as yesterday, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
slightly less so, maybe, but because it's just him, it's a lot.
Well, I did reorganize all of the paperwork, so hopefully that part's a little.
Yeah, at least there's that. There's just, we saw Bogdan when we first went in there, and now it's just poor Zachary doing all of that. So it's just a lot for him to take on, but, at least, like we said, he probably has the job now, so.
And hopefully he gets to take a 2-day nap after
Oh, I
this.
hope so. Poor guy. Yeah.
God. We should.
I did force him to eat, though.
Good.
Good. Does he do good work?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Did Chauncey learn any new tricks down there?
No, just the same ones, but he was very helpful with the tools.
Good.
And actually made him fetch some food for him. It felt more like a fun game if Chauncey was handing him the food.
Clever.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
And who can say no to Chauncey?
I mean,
We have quite a bit to go over, but we have a safer place to do that now.
okay.
Thanks, Aaron. And it might be better to debrief not here.
Okay, are we gonna stay there tonight?
We could if Cindy gets here with enough time to make
Right.
it back before curfew.
Okay.
That might be a stretch.
Yeah, that
We
might
kind
be
of need
hard.
an-
That was my fault. I
It's
said.
okay.
No, it's fine, because we're outside still. We might need that thing that you said that you can make
Oh,
before we move out.
that's
Yeah, we have some pretty
probably-
important luggage that we don't want to lose
Okay,
before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
okay. Good to know.
So I think one more night here.
And then we can close out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How long till sundown? Till curfew goes into effect?
Probably a couple of hours at this point.
Alternatively, we could not check out here, or check out of all the rooms but the one tonight. Leave the precious luggage here overnight. I can send another message down to Cindy and give her a new meeting point, new address, and we could debrief with her tonight.
I would prefer no more individuals know about the place we just were, if that's all right.
Okay.
That's fair.
It's okay. Whatever works, it is yours. So,
I can show you, and I gesture to Pal, Pat Pal.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we
how
head
about we
up?
not do that outside?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
of
a thing
course,
we're
yes.
supposed to do outside.
Spot a lunch and then
Ooh, yeah.
planning session.
I did not eat.
Oh, let's feed you up then.
Andy,
I know, but I was busy making sure Zachary ate. I can only do so many things at once.
you were doing quite enough.
I'll swing the door open and we'll head on inside.
All right. As you enter into the Tired Tinker, it is far less busy than when you left it in the morning. It seems as though the room is now filled with people who are at the tables. They're mostly full. There are a couple of empty spaces, but it is bustling with people eating and drinking. It appears that people have very much taken up refuge here. Nastar is working behind the counter, and as you enter in, there's a voice. Well, now there is a sight for sore eyes.
Oh no.
Why?
I have.
How?
He's everywhere.
I didn't want to see you all this early, but hello. It's good to see you again.
Hi.
Jano?
Yeah.
What's...
No,
Uh-huh.
Claudine Timwell
Yeah.
God.
is waiting at the counter
Ha
for each of you.
Speak of the devil.
Hello. It has been.
Didn't hear the perpetual tiredness.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also didn't sound
Well,
happy
yeah, it
enough to
sounded
be
too
Jana.
tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like, what's wrong?
Hello again.
Hi.
Hi.
Been waiting here for a good few hours for you to come back, and now that you're here, I have been requested to. First off, I suppose, normalities. Hello, how are you? How have you
Hi,
been? How have
it's
you been
fine.
surviving
we don't
all
have
of this?
To do that.
We
You're
don't.
right, I don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
What?
if
How?
we'd known.
How?
No, it's all
what's-
right. At least the star here has been courteous enough to, provide me with drink again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He is lovely.
He is. Do you have a moment for a chat, a seat, or?
Sure.
We were gonna grab some food anyway, so.
Fantastic. Well, now that I've found you, I'm going to kick up my feet over here and
Okay.
grab some food. I'll see you in a moment. As she brushes past you, not hitting you, but pushing past,
Gee.
and just sits down at one of the tables.
Not the person.
I was,
Yes.
She's
yeah, not
acting
in
like
a
a real
thousand years.
Claudine.
I'll get us all I'll get us all some meals. I'll just quickly order with Nastar like a round of food for everybody who needs it. Something simple, just if there's a stew, if there's a sandwich, if there's a soup and salad combo. Like,
Soup and salad combo.
Very good.
Half soup, half salad.
Drinks and food for all five of you will
Yes, please.
come out to 8 silver.
perfect. Easy enough.
I will bring it to you. As food is being prepared, you see Claudine just relaxed down into a chair. She still has that demeanor of being working, but it looks as though she's actually off of her feet for the first time in a while, and you can see an air of just tiredness to her.
Always
boy.
constantly tired.
I'm gonna sit down next to her.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you? I know this is like a business thing. You wouldn't come here for pleasure.
Well, yes, it is a business thing, and I'm sorry, I'm coming across as a lot right now. It has been a lot.
You're just being yourself, Claudine.
That's fine.
It is, frankly, good to see you again.
What? It's
Same to you. I was
great
hoping
to
you'd.
see you.
State your business, Claudine.
Well, fine.
Excuse me.
I'm an Amanda
She's too tired for
Wait,
niceties.
This is true.
No, I get
yeah.
it.
Like-
No, I'm.
Why don't you pay her to give
Appreciate
her?
it. It's
like,
great to see you too. But yes,
Yes, to the point.
how can we help you?
It has been brought to my attention. How do I say this? Like, I meant to interview you.
For a job?
No. Well, maybe. Apparently, there was a potential lodging of a complaint.
A potential lodging of a complaint.
It is how that was put to me.
Against whom?
From against the Silver Palm.
Oh.
Oh.
Apparently, you all spoke of something happening to the cider that we'd been bringing back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At least, Aaron, you came in to speak regarding this. You were described to me, and what can I say? You were quite distinguished. When I brought up, oh yes, I know these people, it was asked that I would seek you out and listen to what you have to say. With all that being said, if something is happening that is disrupting the free market that is trade here in Venture, then, well, that is something that the Coin Master is upset about and would like to investigate it further. So I am here to ask as to what you had to say and to see if there's any truth to it. And now, before I get into this, I should state that any information that leads to the potential apprehension or leads to any truth of the matter will be rewarded. Yada yada legal stuff.
We'd be happy to fill you in on the little bit of truth that we have. Most of it is hearsay that we were hoping to investigate, and we've done a little work here to rule some things out.
All right, well, please, whenever you're ready. And she pulls a little notepad out, flips it open, and pulls a quill out.
I do the same.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, ale coming from Mistfall, well, cider coming from Mistfall Cidery, has been coming here, and
Yeah.
there's word of it being.
So this is the ale that it was my job to ensure that there was. Yes.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Exactly.
It wasn't. It doesn't look like the. Well, we're not sure, but we got some of the cider directly from the Silver Pond, and we had it, and it was delicious, and it even kept the full days. But we were at another bar, and they had some of the cider that didn't come down with us, but came down the last time,
It was
and
vile.
it was really, really bad. And so it seems like there's something going wrong, either on the boat or maybe in the warehouse, because it looks like then they sell it off at the warehouse really cheap because it goes bad. So it seems like there's something.
And I asked at the Silver Palm, you weren't at the desk, but I asked how they store it, and they said, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah, so the warehouses are incredibly secured.
And it doesn't seem to have happened on the boat, at least not this time.
No.
I'm the purchaser of that first barrel, and it's fine. It tastes exactly as it should.
We did discover that the Soggy Dog, an inn down at the Docks District, was
Right, that's-
utilizing a portion of the cider in A drink that they...
I would not call it a drink. That was not good.
They said they got it from the Silver Palm visited.
As
Gauntlet.
is. Yeah.
So I guess
And is this from this current batch that we had secured, or was this?
Batch previous.
The
That's
batch that was
before.
on the ship with us.
and so what I would say is a good way the Silver Palm could investigate maybe is to go in and make sure that the cider that came in this time is still good, because if it's not good anymore, that means there's something wrong in the warehouse. So then you would know if this batch is still good, well then it's fine. But if it's gone bad, then that means something's wrong, because the stuff we took out of the warehouse is fine. So that would make sense.
Very good. Is there anything else that you wish to report, or is this in line with the complaint that you were to be lodging when you had arrived at the Silver Palm?
Yes.
All right. Was there anything else specifically regarding the Silver Palm itself?
Link is down, right? The psychic link?
Yeah, it's been going for a long time. I almost re-upped it, but I figured we're all going to be in the same spot, so...
I kind of lock eyes with you, Aaron, and just like, as if your cue, your decision here.
Great, guys. Put me on the spot about it. No, that's what I asked for, didn't I?
You logged this complaint.
Oh, I know,
my
I know.
guy.
You wrote
None
this
of us asked for
character.
you to do
All
this.
of a sudden, I need to use the bathroom.
No!
So there's
Intermission.
nothing else.
Not at the moment, Claudine, though people are a talk of the town. If there's anything that we do come across from other locations that serve Mistfall cider and we want to reach you, is the Silver Palm the best place to do that? Or
It
is there
will
another
be, yes.
means? Okay.
Reaching me at the Silver Palm, especially with travel in and out as shut down as it currently is, then that is where I will not be traveling for any reason for any time soon.
I do have a question,
Yes.
and this is all hypothetical, just the nature
Oh,
of
good.
Andy and my work. It would be good to know how certain things work.
Mhm.
We are, as lawkeeper and conservator, aware of certain illicit items that may be traveling between the frontier towns. No specifics, no formal complaint to lodge. If that were to be happening, is the Silver Palm aware of the contents of the cargo that is shipped, or is it more discreet than that?
Typically, the Silver Palm is not responsible for shipping goods to and from. That is primarily worked out with captains and local businesses. We simply oversee the transactions. We are not the ones who are providing the ships. We are not providing. We are providing safety for the goods when they arrive until they are sold, unless they are sold directly to any of the taverns or shops.
With the goods, you're aware of the contents.
If it is overseen by us, traditionally, yes.
I see. Good to know.
Thank you. I think that should be sufficient for now. If anything else should come up, I will reach out. I suppose now, I should say, we do take these complaints seriously. This is something, if illicit activity is happening in the town that is under the watchful eye of the Palm, specifically done so in a way to gain leverage over trade, well, quite frankly, that is what we are here for.
It does seem to be that the Cliffside Cidery has quite a hold on this town. Not to imply anything on anybody's behalf, but not necessarily pointing fingers at the Silver Palm, but perhaps the people purchasing these barrels. Just a thought.
Very good.
If you do find out if that cider has got bad, would you do us a favor and let us know, please?
Of course. We will,
Thank you.
well, we'll be making an investigation as to the quality of the contents of the barrels.
We were essentially hired to investigate on behalf of Miss Foss. So,
Oh, so I'm just being brought in at the end here, am I?
well, we did actually try to bring this to your attention on the ship. It seemed like you had other priorities, so, but forgive us for any, exclusion on our part.
Well, I suppose forgive me for not taking the matter as seriously as I should have.
And again, there's no finger pointing. We didn't want to accuse before we knew more.
Unfortunately, right now, a finger to point is exactly what I would like. It's, either this is incorrect, and as she is saying this, she puts the notebook away. Either this is incorrect and it's just that the cider spoils quickly, or it is true, and that means that, well, there's...
Well, my barrel was gifted to Lord Jano, and I can't imagine he's gone through it all quite yet. So if you needed a control, you do have that option
Yeah.
to look into.
Oh, fantastic.
And we had some last night, and it was delicious.
Still good.
Yeah.
Very good. Is there anything else, any other names of any individuals who you think might be doing this?
This is quite a broad term.
It is.
Poisoning barrels or tainting cider? No, no one else we're aware of. Like I said, we Andy and I are. Well, it's a little more discreet than we can share, but be careful of people in high places shipping very expensive goods, perhaps.
Do you have something that you feel as though you should be telling me?
I feel that telling you anything right now might point the finger at the wrong person and or tip our investigation before we are complete. So when we do have something to report, we will come to you.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Claudine,
Yes. You
Forgive
can
me,
see
you-
as she says yes.
She's so
No, she sinks even deeper into the chair. It almost looks like a moment of nothing that she hasn't had in a very long time.
in our time this afternoon, we came across a rather interesting shop on the bridge called The Collection.
Oh,
Are you familiar with its owner?
Calder. Lark Calder?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what his name was.
Yes.
Fascinating inventory. Has anything changed hands between you and him, between the Palm and him, as of late?
Between the Palm and him, we don't typically do direct business, purchasing of goods or items. We oversee it. We're mediators.
Mm-hmm.
What I can tell you is that he is in good standing. But further information from that, further information other than that, off the top of my head, would require me to do an audit and.
You're quite busy enough as is, so.
Yes. Yes.
Just seems so fascinating how people come across a variety of items.
He is. He has had a very good reputation for having well, an interesting collection.
Hey, Claudine.
Mm.
Do you want to pretend this interview took longer so you can maybe put your feet up for a little bit?
Man, this fire is pretty cozy.
The ale's nice.
I would really appreciate that, actually.
I'm so sorry you missed your vacation and then came back to
Yeah, we
all of this.
Did not
It's
mean
been a lot.
to add more to your already very full plate. So
And I am sorry that I came in a little heated there.
you're okay.
I reach out a hand to hers.
And as your hand gets close, she like reaches out
No.
to
I
take
just
it.
squeeze it. It has been a lot.
It has.
And you're responsible for a lot. It's okay to not be for just a little bit.
Whew. Yeah.
Life isn't always this eventful for you, right? This seems like
No, it's usually
Just, it's like just an us thing.
really monotonous work. Well, lots of work and lots of. The travel was fun when I first started.
sure.
Ugh. But now it's just again and again and again and again and never ending. And
Yeah.
but it's important work. Oh,
Was that your first time traveling with Lady Elaine?
no, I've been on a ship with her before.
She's so fascinating, and we've had dinner with her a couple of times
Oh, lovely.
now. Yeah. When was the last time you voyaged with her?
I don't remember. It's been a long time. I think I had taken a trip up to Lockheed. There was there was a transfer of ore that needed to be brought back, and two parties having a difficulty agreeing on a price, so I had to go out for that.
Where is that again? Lord Keith? I feel like I've
Lockheed?
heard that name.
Lockheed.
Lockheed? I've heard that name before, haven't I?
Oh, it's over by Nerith Caudrel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recall her being on the trip out. But this was years ago.
Of course. I mean, she's well traveled. I admire that about her.
If it's all right with you, I'm just gonna take a moment to enjoy this drink.
Yeah.
Please do.
We
You
can
want
leave
another?
you alone too, and you can still, like, we're all talkers. You could just, and we could vouch for you.
Oh, I could use some quiet.
Great. Why don't we head upstairs?
Sure.
Your secret is safe with us.
You got here in about 45 minutes.
Yep.
Perfect.
That sounds just right.
Thank you,
Of course.
and thank you.
I hope you
Okay.
get your vacation soon.
Yep. that was a soul.
Do they have a, there's a complaint, a way to file a complaint? Can we file like, good job, Claudine?
If you would like to pass along good wishes as to appraisal of a job well done, those are also taken.
All right.
Yes, we will
Happy
make sure
to.
we do that.
Next time we're passing.
Because you've been doing a very good job.
I have been.
You have. Now we're gonna give you some peace and quiet.
Thank you.
Enjoy
I
your
just, like-
dinner. Okay.
As you all stand up to head away, Nistar is there with a large platter.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, we have a friend who might stop by and ask for us. If she does, we are going to be in our rooms. It's okay to let us know.
Very good. Would you like her to be sent up?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Thank
Chances
you.
to Cindy.
Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
I will send Cindy up to you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Nestor.
Okay.
Whose room
Go
are
up.
we going to?
Whose room? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, y'all's.
Ours?
Okay.
Great.
We have a body in ours.
That's fair.
It's fine.
So?
It's not
It's
rotting.
fine, yeah.
It's not rotting. I made sure.
Yours is full of secrets.
You say this as you're going up the stairs, or
No.
once you're
No,
in
I'm
there?
not saying it at all.
Above table.
Yeah, that's above table.
That's so far above table.
Yeah.
As you all head upstairs.
Go into the room.
Yeah, it's just silence
kind of
until
food
we
do we
get
get?
to the room.
Uh,
Yeah. Hey, Scott, describe the food, please.
Scott, I'm hungry. Describe the food.
It's gonna become a meme.
Scott, I'm hungry. Describe the food.
In great detail.
Thick slices of soft bread. And it's not warm, but it recently was. And there seems to be a bowl of lentil soup alongside of it.
A hearty meal.
Okay.
Now I'm wondering if Brody's just gonna show up randomly at some point.
that would
the
be
grumpy
wild.
That punk.
I'm gonna go. Sit
I don't
in
think
the corner.
Brody leaves that shop.
Brody
I think
is
he
that
lives
shop.
there.
He might be less grumpy if he got out sometime.
I don't know. He seems like it's not that he's grumpy. I think that's just who he is.
It takes a certain type to live in a frontier town.
I guess so.
Not all of us can be the soft overseer that gets to move out whenever it's ready.
Yeah.
So,
That's what happens to all towns.
if they get big enough, an overseer, at least it seems like that's the case.
Like eventually that will happen to Upstrom.
I hope not.
I mean, from the city's perspective, it's quite an honor.
I think some places are meant to stay small.
Yeah. So,
Recap. Recap.
door closed.
Yeah.
My eyes just get wider and wider.
As you all recant
Yeah.
We have a
what you had
form or
experienced.
board, Okay.
Uh-huh. And I'll kind of just like point things out on the pages inside Pound. Not out on the walls, but like, can you do that psychic thingy that Aaron can do, or is it a different thing?
Oh, my thing is different, and
Oh.
it's only me talking to one person in their heads.
But
Well,
still, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's weird, that's for sure. But yeah,
I'll add it to
works
the
in a pinch.
page of weird shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, the one thing that we know for certain is we want to talk to Lady Elaine again.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
maybe tomorrow or something, but
Okay.
no matter what, I think we just have to be very careful.
Yeah, I don't know. I have so many mixed feelings about Lady Elaine. Because I know she can't. It's like those people were after her. So she can't be involved with them. But she's being so cagey. It's just so hard to fully trust her. So that's where I'm having trouble.
I mean, we've said it before. She deals in information. Most people
Right.
in the upper class seem
So I
to
guess
have
that
that as a currency. Money is
makes-
nothing to them.
Right. So she needs more to divulge.
When
I
she
guess.
has more to divulge, you wouldn't spend
Right,
everything.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She won't tell us just out of the blue when she.
And probably certainly not in front of Lord Jandam.
No, definitely not. No. Okay. Okay.
But that seems like the best shot. I don't know if Bogdan just needs to have sleep or anything, but I'm also concerned about him.
I know. I think he'll be okay. He just, I think, really overexerted himself. So, I mean, maybe in a day or so. He was bonding. I use that word lightly. He was making noises in response.
He
That
probably
weren't
just-
words.
Probably just got really tired, like he wore himself
Yeah,
out a
I
lot.
think probably, even though I don't know, I'm just assuming things, but his
Just-
arm can do a lot of things. I imagine it takes a lot of energy as well.
And it's not like he was at a full tank after
No,
your bouts with him.
definitely not.
I still can't believe he did that after. Granted, he didn't use any of that power.
Physical exertion of a fight seems minimal compared to the efforts going into building a construct bridge from scrap
Yeah.
metal around
Yeah.
him.
I can't even imagine.
But he's lived this long.
Yeah,
With those
he'll
capabilities, he'll be fine. I'm not
be okay.
actually-
He just needs to recover, is all. And I just know in the meantime it's a lot for poor Zachary, but hopefully he'll be up soon.
Yeah.
Also, it feels weirder and weirder that I am probably right about Lark
You are
Holder.
proven right.
He and Silas are working together.
Oh.
Oh,
Hi.
As the door opens, Nastar is there with Cindy.
No.
thank you, Nestar.
You're very welcome. As he gestures and turns away.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
How are you all? May I come in?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
of
please.
course.
We're just eating soup.
Well, I'm here to report.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yes. So, I was able to reach out. So, two of my friends working at the docks specifically worked on the Fairbanks. Dunley and Ryder. And I spoke to them about it. There didn't seem to be any. They didn't notice anything strange,
Okay.
but are also open to talking if you'd like.
I would love to ask them mostly about, sailing past like that
Mhm.
part of the world and see if maybe they know more about it,
No, I don't know if they traveled on it. Specifically,
Or
they.
they just load
Loading
stuff.
cargo.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Mm.
but still, they would have loaded maybe some.
They said it
things.
was nothing strange. Was it the same, regular crew on there?
That's what they were saying.
Okay.
Again, I didn't know any sort of points to pry on.
Okay. No, that's totally understandable.
I think
Hmm.
of them, Ryder has traveled. He's been he'll load and offload.
Right. Okay.
He has crewed on ships before, so
Okay.
I don't. He may have worked on the Fairbanks.
Okay. But obviously not that
Mm.
day.
Yeah, specifically the last time
Yeah.
that it was in.
Yeah.
They both worked on it, but then it left without
Right.
them.
Okay.
And any idea if the loading the cargo are they the ones checking against the manifest, or are they just the
The labor.
heavy lifters?
They're probably just doing the labor. They're. I mean, they're. Look, they're my friends. I like them, but they're not.
Yeah. Probably
They're not
not
ambitious.
wildly. Yeah.
Who is the dockmaster where they work? If there is one.
Oh, there has to be. I'm not sure.
That's fine.
Uh,
Where could we find them if we wanted to talk to them?
I mean, if you want, I could introduce you to them at the docks.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't hurt.
Although
Just
It's a bit late in the day.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
also realizing
Yeah.
they're probably not a lot of work for them to be doing right now.
Mhm.
right.
We could still meet there, though.
We
Oh, and
could-
I don't mean tonight.
No.
Yeah.
I figured I probably had enough time to.
Yeah,
meet
you
you and
should.
tell
Yeah,
you
and
and-
you should probably get
Yeah.
back before curfew.
And don't worry, if I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Then maybe sorry if you
No,
have
no,
a question.
I'm just wondering if there is any more information to glean from your friends, or if we should really bother them.
I realized I probably should have asked more about what you wanted to know about.
No, we didn't give you any information, so you're fine.
But
Yep,
like I
listen.
said, they're open to talking and meeting.
Great.
Okay. Should we do we want to do morning or like afternoon in case there's stuff we want to get done in the morning?
Tell you what, Cindy, why don't you meet us here in the morning and we can decide where we go from there?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Sure.
If your friends aren't working, maybe they wouldn't mind a random drop by.
Yeah, they're probably okay with that.
Okay.
And yeah. Just as soon as we're able to in the morning, or
Yeah, no rush. We'll wait for you here.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Oh,
appreciate it.
Of course, this is what you're hired me to do. All right then. Well, unless there's anything else.
Speaking of, and I'll reach
Yeah,
into
I
my,
my
my
like
coin
there
purse
was
and
more
I'll
money that we
pull
had to
out
give her.
the 2 gold. And thank you for a hard day's work. And well, we'll see you in the morning.
I will see you in the morning.
Be safe. Get home before curfew.
I will. I'll be fine.
All right.
Right. Good night.
Good night,
Good
Cindy.
night.
Good night.
With that, she leaves, and you hear her walking quickly down the hall.
Okay.
Wow. That was I mean, didn't get a lot out of that, but she came back.
Yeah. No, that's helpful. Okay. I
Ryder
mean,
might
at
be able-
least we have some sort of lead.
Ryder might be able to tell us who's captaining
Yeah.
the Fairbanks when it left. From there, we can figure out who was the crew, who they were commissioned to sail for. So,
Yeah.
Well, there might be a manifest.
Yeah.
manifests are usually heavily guarded, though. They contain sensitive information for some. So,
Yeah.
let's be prepared to possibly work around some individuals who don't want to be cooperative.
Let's also be careful because while we, might have an in with the Silver Palm, if we go poking around too much the Fairbanks, we might
Yeah, we
anger
don't-
the Plavatins as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But,
Yikes.
a lot of options for where to start tomorrow. I could send a message to Elaine tonight, try to arrange something. And that might tell us where we go
also,
from there.
did we still want to send another message to my father?
I can do.
I mean, we could do it tomorrow.
I told
Ask
you we
about
can wait
the
till the end of the day
monsters.
today,
No.
and I have.
Yeah, just to see if he.
I'm sort of curious if the monsters were anything like what was on
Mhm.
the Fairbanks, or what
Right, or
or
like
the
more
Subriders, or-
normal, yeah.
I'm sort of curious
normal monsters.
what the monsters could do and things, if they had any like abilities, or like
Any
the
details.
Subriders, or if they were like monsters. I'm just sort of curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, any details. But
And I can send 2 more today.
Okay.
Till then, after that, we'd have to wait till tomorrow. But
Okay.
what if we send a message to Elaine, hear her
Sure.
response? If I have to send a follow-up to arrange something further,
We can send a message to my father in the morning.
yeah, not too.
That's fine. It's not urgent, just good. Well, he was confused,
Right.
but I think, it won't make a difference.
where's some place we could suggest to Elaine to meet that is sort of private, someplace sort of quiet,
Well,
maybe?
Yeah, if you don't want to.
The actual gardens.
Oh, maybe. Would be nice to see them.
Once we meet, we could have our entire conversation privately linked between myself and a few individuals.
I guess that's true.
but that's kind of like me talking to Pal, right? It's a one-sided ordeal for you, or for us, anyway?
Well, it all just goes to you.
Precisely, but
Yeah.
it's the most secure thing that I can offer her.
Yeah.
Who does not want to be overheard.
Outside of the...
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she's the one who probably deals in this sort of stuff, so maybe she has private spots in mind.
Alright, so in this message I can say we have sensitive information to discuss. We'd very much like to meet at her earliest convenience, and we
Yeah.
can meet wherever she suggests and feels safe.
I think
Something along
That's-
those...
Discreet, something the most
yeah.
discreet as possible.
perfect.
Alright, and then we leave it in her hands, and hopefully she can respond in 25 words, and we can then contact your father.
Yeah. Okay.
You were gonna draft something, have you?
Oh, I
Okay.
already
Alright.
did.
Well, I just said it out loud, and I think it was less than 25 words. But,
So we'll do that. That one.
alright. So I'll kind of like just take a seat on the bed and like open up to the sending spell. Alright, pal, we're going to talk to our friend Elaine now, and you know what she looks like. There we go. And I'll conjure that image in my mind and reach out, and Lady Elaine, we have sensitive information to discuss. Kindly meet us at your convenience. ASAP. You suggest time and place. We will come. Urgently, I hope. Please respond now. 25.
Please respond now.
You mark, get set, go.
I love a message that ends in "Please respond now."
Just in case she didn't know.
No, I get it's just.
Oh.
Yep.
Finn, what a delight. I would love to see you all. If you would like to meet tomorrow evening, let's say at the North Gardens. Usually early afternoon to be safe.
I was gonna say. Ah.
Good.
Okay.
Stupid Kirby. Working up our
Oh, shoot.
subterfuge.
Well, she is certainly game to meet tomorrow, and with enough time before curfew at the North Gardens.
Okay.
Great.
I feel rude not to confirm back.
No, that's
No,
fine. We
that's-
can message my father in the morning.
I'm so sorry, Andy.
It's fine.
Okay. I'll send again using my last third level spell slot for the day. Thank you so much, Lady Elaine. That plan sounds excellent. See you early afternoon. Sincerely, Finn.
You must.
I think it's okay.
You just hear. Sleep well, Finn.
You too. No, she didn't hear that
No.
last bit.
Nope.
No.
She said sleep well. So, and she kind of laughed at me, just like you all did.
Mm-hmm.
We're on. We have the morning open.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that should work. I mean, I think that might be a lot of travel if we're going to the docks and then to the garden.
Maybe not docks tomorrow.
district. Yeah.
I think let's move out of here tomorrow. Get
Okay.
resituated elsewhere.
Right.
Maybe we just send, when Cindy comes in the morning, we send her to just, if we're not meeting them at the docks, like figure out a meeting place with them
Yeah.
for later. Okay. Just feel bad making her come. I mean, whatever.
She
We're paying
has-
her.
We're paying her
I
so
know,
much.
I'm sorry.
I did realize that was we overpaid her quite a bit for that, but
I think we can ask quite a bit of her
Right.
to a certain extent,
I know,
but we,
I know.
loyalty has no price. So far, so good with that.
Mm-hmm. Loyalty always has a price.
Yeah.
Just might not always be gold.
Right.
Great. So we put a pin in abducting and questioning Lark Calder and sending him to the deacons,
Right.
and we figure out more about Lady Elaine.
Okay. Was abducting ever on the plate?
words never
Okay.
came out of my mouth.
Great. I just.
I don't know.
Okay.
There were
I didn't know if we were gonna have to
implications we
arrest
explored.
him.
I mean, we don't have like. We have enough evidence to prove to us, but we don't have enough evidence to prove to anyone else.
Aaron has a fancy memory string. It's a cool trick.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, okay. We're learning a lot of cool tricks. I don't know what's happening. Okay.
We don't have someone who can read them.
Decode.
Oh,
What does it take to read them?
but you know what's in them.
Precisely.
But no one else does.
Not yet.
Unless they can decode it.
Precisely.
Okay.
What do they need
Can
to be
I?
able to decode
Yeah,
it?
I mean, with an Arcana check or something, can I like see if I would be able to suss it
Yeah,
out?
by all
or-
means.
Cool.
Just sort of curious.
Maybe.
It just bugs the hell out of me that the spell doesn't tell you how to decode the thought.
Oh.
We get to be creative about that.
Safe and creative.
Man.
That's 24.
24.
Yeah.
You know, typically with something like this, if you have the capability to create it, you have the capability to read it.
Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, anybody who knows that trick and or other ways of getting inside somebody's mind might be able to
Oh.
decode
I'm
it.
sure there's lots of people who can do that. I mean,
I learned it from my mother.
is that a
Um,
family thing? Or
Well, I learned certain rudimentary skills from my mother, and I expanded upon it. I mean, that's not
Okay.
better. That's a better way of describing it.
okay.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes. You pick up the melody and you add your voice to it. And, I mean, the Adagog did not teach me how to connect to somebody's mind from afar. I'm not quite sure how to read that, but I could figure it out. But I don't know if my word will add to our story if it's a shared memory.
It's something more concrete than an opinion or a piece of paper.
That's true.
Neither of which we have. Well,
I got lots of
I
paper.
have lots of opinions, yeah.
What evidence do we need to lock this up?
The talking box would be great,
Yeah.
but that's buried down the river from us.
Yeah.
And if I was to guess, it probably doesn't talk anymore.
I'm pretty sure that was a
Yeah.
one-time thing. Now, if we had a ship manifest connecting La Calda to that box, and then ultimately the pneumatic device and the hidden compartment that fits this, gesture or pat the box of the Cracker Jack. I mean, it's all loosely correlated threads, but that would start to build the case.
Yeah. But,
Or an admission of guilt from him, and that's...
well, I don't know if that's.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he seem like? Did he seem reasonable?
He seemed to talk only business, though. I think he, as a man who would understand if and when other subject matters come to light. Not necessarily. I'm not so sure he would dodge entirely. or deny any wrongdoing.
Well, he deny, maybe not, but he. To me, he seemed like a salesman, not only a salesman with a very well practiced pitch, but also a bit of a politician, throwing his weight around his connections. It wasn't that he denied anything; he outright said if something like the crackerjack or otherwise came across his desk, he would report it right to his friends in the order. Clearly, that's not the case. But he was poised, he was put together. We didn't shake him one bit.
Part of me just wants to walk in there and cold accuse him of what we know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he's going to bend to questioning or pressure
No.
from your positions.
If he has access to the kind of magical items like
He
you
could
saw
just be
there,
he could just be a shop owner.
Could be.
I'm not really a betting man, but that is not a wager I would take currently.
Let's see what we can figure out about him from Lady Elaine. I'm sure she knows some things. How he got here, how he got his start. Seems like a detail she wouldn't miss.
Yeah. I mean, the possibility of someone of the crackerjack being in there by accident, I feel like is more unlikely than
I don't
him
think,
being
yeah.
responsible for it.
That definitely he knew what was in there.
Absolutely.
Right. So how do we get him to admit his guilt or catch him in the act of another
I
transaction?
don't-
That's
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
the better.
that's where I think we're headed.
I'm sort
Yeah.
of curious what the silver pound is going to say. That sort of saves my question. I
Yeah.
know it's sort of I know it seems sort of strange, but I really can't help but think that there's something in there, and
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't doubt
it
that.
also makes me more nervous about you just having that thing around.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's all right.
you'll know how I feel about that.
It's safe in the box, and I have a pretty good sense of how it works, and I imagine Silas
Okay.
did not. So I don't think just walking around with it like this is as dangerous as all of that.
Sure.
I'd still very much like to get it into an even more secure container, which we're working on.
So,
That's right, a bag with a. Yep, just gonna. Yep, leave that right there,
yeah.
because I don't understand it.
So, we could get Lark to tell the truth.
I feel
But it's not.
I don't think we
It's-
could.
I don't
We
think
can't.
that's-
You
I
can.
don't think he'd tell the truth willingly.
I know.
You've mentioned this before. This is the. You can compel the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Can you pull an admission or?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
I can.
One that's truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a very direct approach
It
to a
is.
very complicated issue.
It
but
is.
even then, all we would still have, we could go to those deacons right now and say, Lark Calder told us that he is a very bad man and he has smuggled many things, and
You're right.
then they would say, ha 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 ha. I think. I don't know. I've never met a deacon. Would they?
I think that's how they
I-
sound.
I-
Yeah, good impression.
Have never heard one laugh. I've never been super close, but never.
I mean,
heard
if
one
they
laugh.
did, it would probably sound like that. Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine that figure standing there, very
Yeah.
intimidatingly would
Uh-huh.
sound.
Ha 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 ha.
So, Calder
Mhm.
is potentially sending unstable chunks of not even devices, just ore, right? Like unrefined or refined ore or whatever.
Core. With a K.
Yeah.
Core.
Right.
Well,
Potentially one to Silas that exploded, if Silas was the end user. One to the Overseer. Both locations in Rivers meet. Are there more? Did the
well, here's the thing. It's not a thing that is mined anymore. It's not a resource that is readily available anymore. So
Like,
to have it,
Like the Kymordian ale, though.
Right.
yeah,
I remember you were saying something about
it's
that there were people who wanted to or something.
it's
but
very
it's-
regulated. Like Bogdan saying that there is core in his arm.
So either somebody's come across a new stash, or
Yeah.
somebody came across some very ancient pieces
Right,
serendipitously,
but again,
and they
it's
wanted to make a
it's-
buck.
Right. It's heavily regulated by the order. So
The fact that Locke Calder claims to have
that is what
A
worries
relationship
me,
with the
is
order.
that maybe there's
all the more reason why I think a bold approach will be is the true path, because any type of surveillance that we do, he'll be able to dodge. He's 3 steps ahead of his operation
Yeah.
already.
I liked your suggestion of catch him in the act of another one, so we could get harder evidence. I'm not saying that the bold approach couldn't work, but there's a lot of liability there.
I think we have more information to gather
Mhm.
and then we can decide what the next thing we want to do is.
We also, a piece that wasn't in the web just earlier this afternoon, we now have a friend at Silver Palm.
We do.
Yeah.
If we were to set up some kind of
I
false...
hope she's taking a nap down there.
Yeah, we'll give it to tomorrow at least, of
Yeah.
course. But if we were to set up some kind of transaction with Mr. Calder, then we could catch him in the act. If it seemed legitimate and, well, the order was something pricey enough.
We also could see if he is he's not probably sending anything else to. Maybe he's sending something.
I don't
Rivers
think those
need, but
curfews bugged him whatsoever.
I guess no. I guess I mean more that, the person he sent it to blew himself up. But
But he didn't know that.
When he sent the cast the veil down the Fairbanks.
well, I guess he also was sending it then not just to the guy who blew himself up, but also to the overseer who
He
did
was-
not blow himself up. So I guess we just need. I wonder if he has other people he is sending it to, or if he's going to be sending more to the overseer, since what he was going to be sending didn't get to the overseer.
But Duathi, you just said something very important. The first package made it to Silas, off of the Fairbanks, or whatever, the first time.
Well, he got there before the fair.
Exactly. So there might be a manifest
for that
for
first ship.
that first shipment to a
Oh,
Silas.
Mhm.
because it didn't go to the Fairbanks, which didn't have zombies.
Exactly.
Also, I've been kind of just like rapidly flipping through my notes. This didn't seem fully relevant, so I didn't put the whole message up on the wall when we were looking earlier. But now that I see it here, and with this plan being concocted, Locke's voice message out of that box said "Hello, Silas." It was for Silas.
Yes,
Hope
precisely.
this is to
Mhm.
your employer's liking.
That's
so,
right.
Oh, so Silas works for the overseer.
Or somebody.
It must have been the overseer, because that's
The
where
overseer
Well,
was
he
expecting.
knew about, yeah.
Yeah, was expecting the case that had
That's
the core
why we had
shard
to
in it.
or at
get
least
them.
the ale. And
So was the overseer expecting a second core? Can you put them together? These core fragments?
do I get any sense that they go back together? I don't think so. But
If it's just a shard of one.
You're traveling into experimental territory.
Would I have learned more, possibly?
Regarding core shards, you
Yeah.
can give me
I do have notes on
Please, for the love of the
History,
song bearer, tell me.
and with your with your background, this can be an advantage. And your choice, history or arcane.
History.
I identified it when we were fighting the dwarves.
Well, thank you for that advantage. That is a 21.
You know, typically core shards are they are leftovers from broken core.
Okay.
They're not pieces to be put together to
Right.
retain
You can't
a whole.
really form them back
Exactly.
together. Or
They-
there's no known way to put them back together.
Exactly. It's like a piece of sea glass that has
Shoot.
magic charged in it.
Yeah.
Also pretty.
Yeah. I'll relay that information.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really something that you can put back together, but is worrisome that they're also working off of shards. It means it's left over from something or somewhere.
Okay, so leftover. From what?
I don't know. I mean, it's above table. If would I know if this is getting into like slight tinfoil hat territory, but
Yeah,
let's go there. Let's do it.
Murder conspiracy.
with the
Yeah, I mean,
murder board.
We're
good
there.
company.
Would I know, like, if someone had, a core enough to, power a Chauncey, or what I assume Bogdan's arm is running off of. If you, like, chipped a shard off of it, would it work just as well?
Or is it the bigger the piece?
You
Like what? Yeah. How does the power work in the sense of like if you just chip little bits off of it, is it still okay? Does it still work
so
to a certain extent?
chipping bits off of a core doesn't necessarily happen when a core shard is created when a core shatters, and once they're created, they are contained
Okay, so it's
and
when
housed.
a core is destroyed, more or less. Okay.
Or when unrefined core ore has accidents happen to it.
Okay.
And then something tells me it's much more unstable when it's been fractured down to the size we have.
Sure.
Regardless of where, well, no, this is all important. Fucking A. Where it came from is important, but the intentions with which it was going to be used is also just
Yeah.
as important because this is an unregulated material that's being delivered to somebody
Right.
to do unregulated arcane
And
jobs,
was
manipulation, something, whatever.
it a mistake that Silas opened it and got blown up, or having a note directly to him makes me think that that's not what was supposed to happen.
No,
Hey
I think
Silas, here's a bomb. Nice knowing you. I
Yeah,
doubt
because he
that.
said, didn't he say in the first note, like, the first note was similar to the second message, where it was
it was a sampling of what
right,
was to come.
exactly.
So
So
it
why,
could have been Silas could have been completely unaware of what he was holding.
right?
thus
And
the-
maybe he just got a
thus the
little
accident.
too
Oh.
curious.
Sampling for what's to come. And then
So first message, and I'm now on the walls, writing on the walls again, like word for word, hold the two messages up. And so the first one says, Silas, regarding our last meeting, I may have something of interest. Consider this a sample next arrival on the Fairbanks. And then the follow-up was the, Silas, I hope this is to your employer's liking. So, I've lost that page, but that's okay.
And then he blew himself.
Yeah, but,
And it was only the night It was the night before.
The Fairbanks arrived, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So here's a job for Sydney. Find out which ship left Venture and arrived at Rivers Meet the night before the Fairbanks left.
We
Or
can
even
Well,
also-
just
we
any
don't
time
know.
before.
It was just in the basement of that. We don't know that it arrived the
No,
day
but we can
before.
work before then. Which ships left Venture
Right.
at Two Rivers Meet within
Before
the time that I arrived,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when Silas blew himself up.
Yeah.
That's how we figure this out.
is
But
it?
also
That's Sydney's
means
job tomorrow.
The overseer has yet to receive any of this. Did Silas relay to the overseer what it was coming?
Wouldn't
Did he
have
know?
found
I don't
out.
think Silas knew.
I think the overseer might have.
I
I
think.
think Silas got too curious, and that's how he blew himself up.
But,
So-
all right, hear me out, because my reading of all this is Silas was employed by the overseer.
Mm-hmm.
Silas went to meet Locke Calder, and Locke came to him. They had a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Something was discussed, and a sample was sent, and then a shipment was sent shortly after.
Yeah.
Silas blew himself up in between, but the overseer probably knew a sample was on its way, and probably had other means of finding out what was going on. But here's the real question: is, do we think Locke knows Silas is dead?
I mean, I don't think news travels that fast, or
It
Well,
was traveled as
yes.
fast as we
Probably
did.
by now.
I
It's-
guess that's true.
It's likely, if I understand the overseer in Rivers Meet to be the man that he is, the failure to receive what he had paid for would have sent him asking
Yeah.
directly to Locke where and what happened to my
Right, that makes
items.
sense.
So-
he
Unless-
probably.
The overseer has to keep his hands clean, and therefore using a mediator like Silas. Where I'm going with this is, maybe that's where we could step in.
I like where you're going, Finn. The problem is, and I wish I would have been more astute, but you know I have means of obfuscating my image. I
Mhm.
wish I got a good look at Silas enough to
Mm.
impersonate him, but
Yeah.
That would be dangerous too.
Alternatively, if we tell the truth that Silas blew himself up, got too curious, and we are now working on behalf of the overseer with more caution. I don't know though how they met, and that could.
Yeah, I don't know.
That also
there
tips
might
our
be
hand
yeah,
to the overseer if word goes back the other way.
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
But a bold approach that is far more discreet than walking in his door and accusing of whatever he did.
How much more is there? Because we might catch him shipping something else off.
It's possible.
I don't know how we do it without watching his every move, or
that's where, to be quite honest, that's where I'm at.
What, watching him?
Yes, tailing him everywhere.
I mean,
something
that is
for you.
Something you do, right?
Yeah.
I would love it.
God.
Silas, did you ever see him coming and going from Rivers Meet, or was he there for the whole time?
Did I ever see him coming and going from Rivers Meet, or did I see him there the whole time?
You only saw him there.
And how long did you have him under surveil?
No more than a few days, right? You know.
Look, it's risky, but it's worth a shot. I think the overseer's already suspicious of something happening, and even if he finds out somebody's impersonating his mediator, there's no connection to us necessarily.
I can appear to be anybody, so
And if you can figure out how Locke meets, shady dealings,
would I walk in as another shady individual looking to convey a message, or looking to operate as a mediator, as a go-between, as a hired hand?
that's my gut anyway.
Let's work on that more. I want to work on that more.
Yeah, well, I think I'm finding out more about Locke, and his habits might tell
Yeah.
us more.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely talk to Elaine tomorrow.
Yeah. We might be able to get some insight how he keeps himself. He doesn't live above the shop. He does,
He
doesn't.
lives elsewhere.
So, getting an idea of where he lives.
I mean, he seems fairly fancy. I feel like if
He
he's
has money.
dealing in these expensive items and going to Lord Janum's parties, maybe he also lives in the Guardian District.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he that night?
Night of
Yeah.
the party?
No, the night of the explosions.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because you went into his...
We were also. It was late, wasn't it?
It
was very
but,
late.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you... Well, I guess he might be
He might
far
have been at
away
home.
from his
He
shop.
might have
Yeah,
been at home.
yeah. Well... Okay.
I just still find it weird that his shop didn't blow up.
Feels
But
quite convenient.
Once again, it's entirely possible that the Dark Beacon has nothing to do with any of this, and their placement of their explosive devices was merely tactical in terms of separating the city from
yeah.
its source of water. But it is convenient to our endeavors that we still have him available to interrogate or investigate.
And there is a connection between the two,
Possibly, yes.
and you know who that is.
Uh,
Our good friend, Lady Elaine.
so much more to uncover.
I do an above table girl.
Girl.
Well,
How shall we spend our morning?
Probably, yeah, sending Cindy off.
We were going to go meet Cindy's friends, though, right?
potentially. I don't know if it's
think
enough
it-
time.
Yeah, I think it might be too long of a trip to go from here to the docks to the garden district by
And-
early afternoon.
Ultimately, it feels like we're kind of fishing with the friends, and with
Yeah.
more direction, maybe Cindy could find something
Yeah.
more interesting. But that one seems like a long shot compared to everything else we have here.
Maybe, but remember, the working class folks pay attention to things a lot more than the upper class recognize. They see what happens, hear what happens, because they don't exist. So, I don't think there's any stone that we should leave unturned while we're here. But we're here for a while, so we're not in a hurry to talk to everyone at every moment of the day.
I do want to get out of the city, but
Yeah.
I think you're right. And well, I think you have work to do, and the question is, can you do that work at night on the curfew, or do you start tomorrow while we do other things?
I can be a god.
You are a guard.
I've worked for the god.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, as in enforcing a curfew?
Possibly. Or alerting Lord Locke Calder that he has been a target of impending attack and needs watch at every moment.
Cheeky.
Might be wise to just watch for now, from a distance.
I'm done watching, Finn.
I know, but he knows your voice, and he might be able to see right through your disguise. We do need to be careful. We weren't so careful enough this afternoon, Aaron.
I'll think about it.
Your bosses wouldn't have given you a safe house if we were gonna blow everything up. Metaphorically speaking, not literally. Please don't open the Cracker Jack.
I don't think the city needs to explode
No,
anymore.
no more explosions, please.
Well, one more explosion in just the right place, and at least whoever that was would not have escaped.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that that was a good idea. But
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But I understand where you're coming from. Would have destroyed a lot of stuff in the wake of it as well.
your job with the Fluffwatch would have been much harder, I think.
Yeah.
So, look, I will reserve this for absolute emergency, and we need a new definition of that, I guess, every day. But
Or just reserve it for giving back to the order.
Your partner has a point there.
Maybe
Finn.
just not using it at all.
That's true. If it explodes, we do lose our evidence.
And our heads.
Now, I can use it. There's a good chance it won't explode.
Okay, that's nice. I don't care.
Yeah, fair.
How long do you need to make that thing? The bag
Uh,
that just holds stuff?
Just overnight, I think.
Great, because no offense, Finn,
No,
you're really freaking me out with that.
You are no longer allowed to hold that. Someone
done
else
anything
does.
yet.
I know, but you have threatened one too many times. So I know that not all of it is serious, but that thing is serious enough that I'm
And
putting my foot down.
You're taking it from him?
All right, but Pal's not going in the bag.
Why would
Okay.
we put Pal
No,
in
I'm
the
not
bag?
putting Pal in the bag.
I'm
Pal's just a book, right?
Just drawing boundaries. That's it.
I think if
Just a book.
it has to be you then, and none of us can hold it, or otherwise we might get in trouble.
Well, if it's
So-
in the bag,
Then you have it,
yeah.
and then it's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
I think so.
I did wonder, do we need to prepare the creature
Oh,
to fit it in? Or how
I guess we'll see.
great?
I
We'll
will need to
find
take
out in
it
the
out
morning.
every now and again and make sure it's not going to get bloody. But
Yeah.
we've got a while on that.
Okay.
Hopefully, next time we take it out, we are in front of people who need to see it, and nowhere else. But we'll deal with that when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the people who brought you here can they just sort of do? Are they then just going to take you back, like the way they brought you here, or?
It did not sound like it from the
Okay.
message.
You said
So-
safe and creative.
Yeah, essentially, we can certainly go tell the order we need to get home and see what they say. And if that doesn't work, we need to get creative to get out of here. And it implied taking some risks, but trying to be safe about it, I guess.
So we can all go with you.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a deal, after all. You have something to see, and the Itagog has it. I really hope they let me see it.
I just sort of want to go to see Sarah's Manor, so and it would be really nice to see all the school and things.
If we bring home some good work, they might up our security clearance, because I've been asking after certain information like maps and such, and I was too junior. But certainly we'll try.
As you continue chatting, the sun has set. And as night comes, you hear echoing through the streets. Dong. Dong. Dong.
I'm going to hit that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very ominous feeling. Okay, I'm gonna get started in trying to figure out how I make this thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we go back. Okay.
I mean, you can stay. I'm just gonna go in a corner,
I
probably.
don't want to bother you, and I feel like I would bother you. I've
Yeah,
been
I
told
know.
I watch a lot, and so
I don't mind
Not
at
bothersome.
all.
I know.
If you want to be around, you're more than welcome to.
I am just gonna throw this out there. It seemed like there was a lot of displaced people in the city, and if we could consolidate rooms, perhaps Nesbar would appreciate having that
I-
extra accommodations.
I think everybody is in now. The
I
the
think
boom
it's-
boom.
yeah.
Right.
It's
We'll
done.
clear out in the morning.
Yeah.
And we'll have 3 rooms.
You both suggested something about Dr. Sada that ultimately made me realize I have a lot more to read in her journals, and a lot more of her shorthand to crack.
Oh, see if she mentions the teeth.
Right, and
Oh, right.
the implication that she might have known about these creatures beforehand, and that is something I hadn't really thought about. So that might give me another method of code breaking here.
Or maybe known of? Like heard of them?
Yeah.
It's
She
just
seemed
she already
really-
had some familiarity with them.
I mean, sure.
after when she betrayed
Yeah.
us.
I think maybe, I mean, I don't know. I could speculate all day. Really, what would be really good is to ask her.
Yeah,
But I have a feeling she is not here.
me too. But unless I can help you with the bag, Andy, that's probably
No, I think I can do it on my own.
And maybe we can ask her just through her version of Pell and her shorthand. It's a shot anyway. And do you have guard duty tonight, or?
Unfortunately, I've been perusing my spells, and I would need to study up before I take on that particular adventure, but it is a possibility for tomorrow.
Just tell us before you go.
Mm-hmm.
I can become invisible, but I somehow have a feeling that that's not helpful.
We don't know.
If they're looking around for people hiding, I have a feeling that me hiding
Yeah,
is probably
possibly even by magical means might be dangerous. Because I can also do that.
And where would you go?
Yeah.
just sort of follow you and make sure you're safe. But alternatively, if they find me walking around, who am I? But you're supposed to be watching things, so I don't know. I would get in more trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Is there a desk in the room?
There's a small.
Just like a table?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the table and just start. I don't know. Maybe if I have a piece of paper or something somewhere. Just
I've got about 15 more.
cool. I'll start kind of drawing out plans.
As you begin tinkering away, the night coming to a start. Does anyone else want to do anything?
It's long. The window with which Claudine's still downstairs is past, probably, right?
Well, she would.
Curfew has
Or
started.
she's sleeping
so-
here.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so she didn't
Yeah.
have that. Okay, because I thought of one thing I might go chit
She's
chat with her
locked
about,
in.
but
She's in here with us.
no, I think after a little while I would just head downstairs and have a drink at the bar.
Sure.
Just to, like I do, I like watching crowds. I like observing citizens from different cities and see how they interact with each other. If there's any like chit chat I can pick up about like how people are feeling, just getting a pulse on the city. Like I'll keep an ear out, but I'm also just looking to. I just know that like it's curfew, so we're all kind of looking to twiddle our thumbs until morning sometimes, especially for
Give me
ourselves.
as you head downstairs, go
Mhm.
ahead and give me a perception check.
Cool.
Anyone else doing anything?
Dorothy, do you mind if we talk in our room?
Okay, sure.
Unless you're busy watching.
No, it's okay. I am watching, but I really don't understand anything.
Okay.
It's cool though. Sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna pull you in.
Do you wanna? Who's
Oh.
first?
Good night. Good night.
Night.
I'll be here and just working on Sada's code for.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you continue to decipher Sada's journal.
Just get mine out of the way before you're seen.
Yeah.
That is a 17.
17.
I have 2 decodes
You have 2
so far.
decodes.
Yeah.
With a 17.
Oh, nope, that's the wrong character sheet because I had to go back. It's a 20, soft 20 now.
Okay. with, a with a soft 20.
Yes.
What languages are you proficient in?
Want to stand by?
All of them, right?
Yeah, totally.
Every
Yeah.
single
When I use the right spell, yeah. Which I don't have prepared, but I do have. Anyway,
Access.
languages are Common, Dwarfish, and Elvish, and then I have just a very basic understanding of the old ancient Jowdic, just the written form, but very primitive.
With a 20 and your proficiencies, you are realizing why part of this was difficult. It wasn't only in code, it was in multiple languages. Both in Common and in Elvish, and in languages that you don't recognize.
Well, I know what I'm preparing tomorrow.
But you can now add a third successful decipher to your list.
All right.
23 for perception.
23. After all the time that you've spent upstairs, coming back down, it seems to have petered out a little bit. There are still, there's a family who is seated at the table. Looks like a younger gentleman, mid to late teens, with what looks like his parents, drinking and or sharing a drink and talking. Most of their conversation is in discussion of how everything is going to be okay. And a younger couple who just seem to be tiredly there and enjoying each other's company. They look like a pair of humans. Nistar is still there along with the older gentleman. Most of the conversations that you are hearing are worry about everything that is happening, curiosity of what is happening as well. Nothing catches your ear nothing pops up as concerning or an alert. The mood is low, but hopeful. Aiken and Duathi.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
I mean, no, but
No, and yes. And maybe? I know we didn't get to finish talking on the bridge, but I pull out the kerchief again.
yeah. Been thinking about that. I know you said you wanted me to try and get in touch with your mother, but I'm also realizing that, if I send a bird or a squirrel or anything,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't get the message back.
Yeah.
It just tells her something, which is, would be good. I'm sure she would like to hear from you, and I will do that, but it's probably not what you're wanting to get back.
Well, I feel like the questions I have for her probably come better from me than like a chipmunk.
That's fair, and it would be a chipmunk talking in my voice too, so it would be like double weird. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not sure how you ask your mom, hey, are we part of a cult?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we are,
I-
but
That's the first time we've seen that symbol, and
it's the first time I've seen that symbol.
but I guess we didn't see it on any of the other cultists. I wonder if anyone else will eventually tell us what it means. But
I don't know. I just wish I had asked so many questions before I left. Like, my village, the one that we moved to. It wasn't just my family.
right,
It was a bunch of us who were like-minded and friends of my parents that they would have dinner, conversation. I never paid attention. I was young, foolish, watching everything else.
well, you said that the lady at the temple, the shrine, and she had that too, right?
She had the same kind of symbol that my mom had. But next time we saw her, she wasn't wearing it openly. I don't think it's bad, but it feels outside the scope of the order.
It feels like a secret.
Yeah. The others, it's fine if the others know. I just want to try to untangle this a little bit more first.
Is it okay if the others know? I'm just asking. I like everyone very much, but is it? I mean, Aaron's now been over the last day, been telling us these things. He knows the cardinal, and he tells the order things, and there's all that, but he's also not telling about the book. And I don't know why he's not telling about the book, other than maybe he just trusts Finn or something, or maybe he's just sort of curious, but for whatever reason he's not telling. But this might be different. I don't know.
I mean, remember what I said earlier? The upper class deal in information.
Yeah.
Yes, money exchanges hands, but that's their currency. And I think he knows that. I think there's a lot that he doesn't know that frustrates him, maybe. I don't know. I trust him.
Okay.
And if I don't want him to know necessarily about everything, but if it comes up, I won't keep any secrets.
Well, I'm not going to tell anyone unless you do. I wish I had a better way of getting in touch with your mother or the lady at the shrine, and I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, again, I could, it's just, Unless they also have a talking squirrel, that's really helpful. So, never know, maybe one of them can cast that spell too. Does your mother know how to cast magic like I do? Can she cast magic at all? I don't know.
She's of a similar persuasion.
Okay.
Not the same,
Not the same.
but she's where I get my love of nature from. But I just wish there was a safer way of finding out the answers.
And it's a long way to go backwards.
And it seems like it's not something openly discussed, so it's not necessarily something I can just waltz in and ask,
Even in your village?
The village, it was different. I mean, here,
Yeah.
I can't just go to the temple and be like, hey, am I part of a secret organization that I didn't know about?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's just, you don't know what you need to ask someone until you can't ask them it,
I do.
I know you do. Duathi, I think we're responsible for these other three, too.
We are!
Yeah.
I'm responsible.
Okay.
I don't know what this means, but damn, I feel like I've got to protect the beautiful things.
Okay.
And right now, there's other things that need to be protected. From themselves, even.
Yeah, it does seem like at the very least some of them need to be protected from blowing themselves up. But, it sounds like they're doing a good enough job with that. It's okay.
We got this.
He's very, very young.
I know.
So,
So am I.
yep.
That felt more apparent this week than any other time.
It's going to be okay. I don't think you're part of a cult. I don't think that has to do with the death cult necessarily, but
No, because
that lady had it.
that lady had it, and
And also, if your mother was a part of a cult, there probably would have been a little bit more the dark back in this wood when you were little, probably.
Probably.
you're right. The aesthetic is all off, but
But still, I understand. It's still It's odd. It doesn't frighten me, but it does make me sort of curious, you know?
Less frightens me and more like kind of makes me mad. The symbol that I've spent so much of my life thinking about and incorporating into my life being used for something so ugly.
Yeah.
Death isn't freedom. I don't know what it is. Living outside the walls, outside of the order. That's freedom.
I suppose it would probably feel like it, especially if you had lived with the order before, you know.
Well, and you didn't live with the order. How does it feel now?
It's very confusing.
Even when you're born into it, it never felt right.
I'm sorry you're dealing with it again.
Sorry, you're dealing with it for the first time.
Okay. Are you going to be okay going to the city? I don't know where you were really going or why. I just knew you had left. And I was going to go with you. And here we are.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to go back to Zeros Manor. I thought I would travel around a bit, go back home, spread the word
The word.
that living is worth living. That it's important to go beyond the walls.
Yeah.
That's important. But then I met you.
Yep.
But I promised you, and I intend to keep that promise.
Okay.
One way or another.
Well, you keep yourself safe, okay? Oh, I will do my best to keep you safe.
I know you will.
But I don't want you to get into any danger, you know?
Likewise.
But, you know, I have a feeling that's going to happen, so, you know.
Trouble sure seems to find its way to us.
Well,
I want to go back to Log, Duathi.
I don't think that, because the river doesn't go to
I know.
Zeros Manor. Can't go by a log.
And as you reminisce about the old times, evening comes, the night progresses. One by one, you each fall asleep. Andy, as you are
I make bag?
very easily, you come up with the blueprints. And once you know what you need to do, you decide that you've got it. You tinker away in the night.
Bag portal.
You all take a long rest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Click that button.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
The next morning, as you each wake up in your respective times, Andy, you now have completed your replication of a bag of holding. You now have a bag of holding in your inventory.
Bag.
Major milestone for the party. I fell asleep with the journal, Sada's journal in my lap, fully closed.
Okay. Okay.
Do I change it up? Let's go.
I
Go-
know.
Change it up.
Yeah.
Go ahead and we'll take care of this in the post show.
Cool.
But
Okay.
in the exact morning, what would you, as you each wake up,
I made the bag.
as the two of you hear echoing through the hallway,
I'm awake now.
Sorry. It's exciting. I'm also I slept, but I made the bag.
Neat. What do we do now?
Put the things in the bag.
You
Give me
wanna-
that.
You wanna
Give
it
me
a
that.
try? It won't like open up in that. Or
No, it's in a lead box.
I know, but what is that? It's just a bag with.
It's a bag with the magic portal inside.
Yeah, this couldn't possibly go bad. at
Look,
all.
it's fine.
3, 2.
Dropping it concerns me.
The bag that you've constructed, it's your choice. It can either be like a backpack or a side pouch. The opening itself is about 3 to 4 inches across.
Okay.
So like one lead line box.
It is the lead line box fits in nicely, but anything larger than that,
Like a body of a demon dog metal creature.
you know that you unfortunately able to craft the magic to create a small
Not
demi
big
plane
bag.
of existence, not a big bag.
Okay.
The inside is big,
Inside big.
but in
Outside,
order to
not big.
contain the plane that you created inside this little pocket dimension,
Yeah.
it couldn't be any larger than what you had made.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. It'll be a pack just because it's easier. And I'll be like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe have to take it apart. We'll figure it out.
Like with one of your tools, or
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Knock, 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 knock,
No,
knock, knock,
I opened the
You
door.
opened the
I made the bag.
We heard.
That's great. Should we go get the body?
well,
So it won't.
Oh.
I mean, as you can see,
Mm.
bag opening.
Oh.
crackerjack box inside now. No, it seems okay.
But we could get the body in there without smooshing it. Oh.
We
Right.
can disassemble.
Or we could just
Carefully.
get a box and put the body in a box.
Mm.
I don't
Sorry.
think if we disassemble it, it's a good idea.
The more intact it is when we bring it back
Yeah,
to
it's
the order, the better.
probably.
We may just want to put it in a box.
Also, would it get real messy in that? Or I don't know.
We'll
Well,
give
put it in
Nestar
the
a
box.
very good tip on our way out.
I mean, we'll bring in the box, we'll bring out the box, you won't worry.
So this morning we're gonna go find a box,
Put it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
put the body in it, get our cart at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Put body in box, box on cart, cart in cart stall at
Oh,
The safe
the
house.
house. Okay.
Not worry about it.
And that'll take a good portion of the morning.
yes.
Do we have to pass by the Silver Palm on the way to the safe house? I don't believe so. I would remember that probably.
To get to the safe house, no.
Yeah, not on the way.
I think it's the other way.
I would like to put in a good word for Claudine and
Yeah.
I think we're
But
going to be
that can
going
wait.
down there at some point.
at some points, right? Ultimately, it might be good to know more about if we wanted to ask Claudine any follow-up questions anyway, to maybe know
Yeah.
what we're asking.
I mean, let's make our errands short this morning. I think Nestar probably needs the rooms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's get a
I'm very-
box.
Very glad we're getting a box and not making a very big mess in this room.
Yeah.
I
I'm
didn't think about
sorry.
that part
I
of disassembling
didn't
a
know.
That's all
body.
I thought about.
Well, it is part. Whatever. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a box. Sorry.
No, we'll get you some tea.
I
It's-
tried.
You made a thing.
I made a bag.
That's still very cool, and I do not understand it at all.
Is other thing safe?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Then
That's-
yes, let's go get a box.
It's in the lead box in the bag.
Okay. Well, that's good then.
All of it makes me
Mhm.
feel uncomfortable too,
Mhm.
but safer.
What?
You're
Nothing.
great. It's
Finn.
fine.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, and I should clarify as to the size of the opening. It is a bit larger. It's actually about 2 feet wide.
Oh,
Oh.
so
So-
could fit.
Full body, no. But the limbs,
Doesn't say parts of.
as again,
Because
remember
wasn't it? It was
the
kind
size
of,
of like a wolf.
Yeah, like
Right.
a big.
But wasn't it kind of
Yeah.
just like parts of it were?
It had been decomposing.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just.
But it's mostly
Push.
intact.
I feel like it's not.
Okay, let's get a box.
Yeah. I
and
feel
we can
like-
worry about it
I
when
will
we're
tell
at
you,
the house.
there is one way you can find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get a
Yeah.
box,
Just in
put it in the
case.
box, and we can look at it at the house. How about that?
Yeah.
We're safe there.
Yep. that sounds like we can try and smoosh it in there.
Okay, smooshing worries me.
Okay. Let's make it smaller. Put it in the bag. It'll get bigger, and then we won't have to worry about it. Right.
Whoa, actually. If I reduce
But then we can't get it back out.
I mean, that.
We need to get it back
that's
out.
Laterus's problem. Okay, it's fine. We'll figure it out
Yeah.
later. Let's get books.
I present Exhibit 8.
Don't worry about it.
All right. That's
Aaron, are you coming with, or are you gonna?
Oh, am I there yet? I didn't know if we were.
Oh, I just assumed you heard too.
Okay, yeah. At the sound of voices, I would have come away from the window that's been open all night, and I will join up with everyone. It's gonna scare you
I
guys
just
again
felt
by
like
just
you
being like up on the roof or something like that. But
Every person that comes in, I made the bag.
Does anybody know any languages besides Common, Elvish, or Dwarfish?
know a few.
Draconic.
I
Okay.
know a few.
Before I go to all the trouble of the ritual, now that I'm realizing I could have done this last night, but it's been a long couple of days. Sada's code seems to be multiple languages. I've been able to identify Elvish and Common. There's a third in here, and I can point out it's still in code. I'm pretty sure, but and I'll like kind of flip to the parts of the journal I've kind of highlighted.
Anyone who wants to look at it, give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Yep.
I smart.
I speak Gnomish and Celestial in addition to.
Oh, we like that.
14.
14.
8.
I made the bag.
Duathi, as you are looking at it, and actually with the 14, Aaron, both of you, Finn says it's in code. It certainly is. You see sections that are gibberish that he's highlighting. You see bits that are clearly in common that make little to no sense. You see some areas that seems like a shopping list, something that looks like a little bit of a poem. It's yeah.
Do you know how to say any of the words, or just like does it? Like, do you know enough of these, like whatever this code is, to say it out loud? Because that just looks like gobbledygook.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't even know where to start.
I imagine no, right? I
Not
think
at
you
all.
would read the language.
Yeah, you don't even know what language it is, much less how to pronounce it.
I have
Thought I'd
ways of magically discerning other languages I'm not familiar with, but it doesn't actually help with any code. I could potentially figure out what language it is, but then I still have to crack it within that hour. But as fun as it sounds to go buy a box, maybe I'll stay behind.
Work on that.
Are you going to send a message to Andy's dad?
Oh yeah, can we send a message to my dad?
Are you ready? Let's get it out of the way, and then that way we can't delay it again.
Okay. Oh, it's
Then
written
we'll go
on a
buy
big
a box
page.
while you know.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Yeah. Don't mess it up.
Okay. I'll read it aloud a few times just to practice, like under my breath. And then conjuring the same image of Andy's dad. All right, pal. One more going out this morning. You know this recipient, and anyway, here goes. Andy again. Glad to hear that you all are okay. Do you know what the monsters were? Can you describe them? I think I got it right.
Oh, hello. What was your name again? Right, monsters. It's like a. They called it dire bear. Does that help?
Dire Bear, and he's also still confused. But at least this time we got an answer.
Do you mind if we send a response? I
It's,
know
you
it's taking
just,
up resources.
a lot, but what? I mean,
He's just
Sure.
so confused.
I mean, he asked my name because clearly I'm not Andy.
yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I think you can
Somewhere in
explain
Orange.
now
Hello?
who you are.
Is anything follow-up wise? I mean, it
I
sounds
think
like things are
mostly
okay, but,
explain, yeah, just say I'm okay, who you are, and kind of,
all right, but no more until
No.
end of day.
No.
Just
no,
Ask what the dire bear looks like.
sounds
okay.
like a big bear.
Based on
I'm
these,
curious if it goes boom, 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 like the Shipriders. Personally. But
that's a lot to ask, but I'll ask what it looks like. And
also, I suppose going boom, what is it? Then I'm doing hand gestures. So.
yeah, I don't think there's
No hand gestures in
translate.
this spell. Definitely.
All right, so one more time. Here we go. It's not even breakfast yet.
I'm sorry.
No, for you, Andy, anything.
Confused my
Um,
dad.
So sorry. This is Andy's partner, Finn, the lawkeeper. What does the dire bear look like? And how many?
Oh, and that she's okay.
And if she's I lost count, I'm not sure.
Okay, now. Right, so Bear was big,
Big,
scary,
scary.
didn't get much else of a look at it.
No close look, that's good, right?
Other than that, is there a word count to this? And it cuts
No,
off.
and it just cuts off. Okay. Well,
Well, we're just gonna.
yeah, we can leave it
them.
there. He will.
He'll get
He
used to it.
doesn't understand all of this. He will constantly be confused. So, but I appreciate you at least attempting to tie up loose ends.
Yeah, I mean,
At least he has more information now instead of a random person talking to him in his head.
someday, hopefully, we'll meet, and it'll all make sense.
Yes.
I like that.
He's. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are you going box shopping too, or?
I mean, I guess I might as well. I tried to make bag. I'll go help
We'll
get
need-
box.
Chauncey to help
I mean,
with
you
the cart.
did.
Yes.
You
Oh, right.
absolutely made a bag. Now we just also need a box.
I know.
It's about things.
I know.
Yeah. You did so good.
I tried.
You did an
And again, to be clear, I've
amazing-
told you, you can try with the body. You don't have to go
Uh-huh.
get a box. You.
Well,
I just want to take this moment
I
to say.
understand.
I know. I just want to take
what
this
you're
moment to say
saying.
you're taking all this time to specifically do something and have yet to try the thing.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I guess let's try.
If it doesn't involve hacking off
Here,
limbs in
let's-
the room.
Let's go try.
Okay.
And we'll see what we can do.
And we do still need to
I
get
mean,
the cart.
long-wise? If
Okay,
we fold
here's the plan. We're gonna wrap this
Come
thing
into
up
our room.
tight.
tight.
It's already wrapped up okay.
Tighter.
Tiger. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do this like the guards. We're gonna make it really tight.
Fold in legs.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Seems like you have a plan. I'm just going to finish
Let's go
this.
to our room.
Okay.
Good luck. Call me if you need an extra set of hands or 3.
We won't.
I know.
I'm going to try and help and make it wrapped up as tight as possible.
Yeah, I'm like,
Roll for put body in bag.
you know how you truss a chicken or whatever?
As you open the door to leave, there on the other side, arm raised, ready to knock,
Oh, is it?
is Cindy.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Okay. Cindy, I made the bag.
Guess what we're putting in it?
Don't worry about that.
Cindy.
What a good employee.
I know. She's so prompt.
Punctual. Yeah.
Before we head off to our post-show hangout, first off, hello. If you've been enjoying the show,
Hey.
thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much.
please consider giving us follow, like, subscribe, any and all of those wonderful things. We're going to be heading over to our post-show hangout in our Discord. It's a place for those of you who are patrons or subscribers who are helping out the channel. You are able to come hang out with us and chat with us. Well, see us chatting with each other a little bit after the fact.
No, we just stare blankly into the camera the whole time.
Exactly. But I imagine one thing we are going to be talking a little bit about. I did have one other announcement for the day, but I wanted to wait.
Wait, is this happening now?
This is happening now.
What
What?
is it?
I have been realizing that there's been a party member
No!
missing from
no,
the party.
I'm not ready!
And so,
Wait, what?
we have
this
the character art for Chauncey.
Even cuter than I imagined.
That is for you.
How cool!
There's one for this side of the table to take a
Don't
look
you
at.
dare! Don't you dare!
The goodest boy!
For all of you.
Oh, it's up on
Oh,
the.
is that
They,
good?
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
up.
it.
And
Our wonderful artist
God
Anne.
damn you,
Oh,
Anne!
yeah.
Outdid yourself again. Oh my
Hell
god.
yeah.
I'm destroyed.
There's so much more personality there than I pictured. Like,
And one thing that I would like to also point out, the incredible thing that Anne did, if you look at the comparison, let me see, you get this button to work. Oh no. If you look at the comparison between him and Andy, he is mimicking your pose.
Nice.
I have to go home.
Hell yeah.
Because he is just doing what he's been taught.
he's a good boy.
He's a robot Bulbasaur.
yeah, kind of.
That's,
You guys got to see it close.
that's my headcanon.
Yeah.
On that
Sorry,
note,
I hoarded
have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
Oh, cool.
Again, we are going to be back in 2 weeks. We're taking next week off. Have a great time. We'll see you then.
I'm done.
Bye, everyone.
You're a monster.